Kendrick Lamar. Yo, back with a vengeance, back with my heart and I'm venting, back up.
All right, class, let's get our notebooks out, our favorite pen. It's giving show and tell, but I went to Disney last week and look at the pen I got. I am obsessed with The Mandalorian and Baby Yoda. And so I had to get it. Like, what? It's literally a pin. So cool. Okay, anyways. Um, we are gonna get into our first album from Kendrick. So, well, it's not his first album, but it's the first one that like it's like considered an album. I think Overly Dedicated is considered a mixtape. Before we get into that, we do have to get into the heart part, or the heart series. And so we start with the first one. It starts with Kendrick just kind of saying who he is, that he's a little N from Compton, and he says his name, Kendrick Lamar, at the end of this like first intro part. And then we get into the verse. He says, "Yo, back with a vengeance, back with my heart and I'm venting, back with another war pendant, salute me or shoot me." So he's saying, respect me like you would salute, your general or someone in the military, or battle me. If you're not going to respect me, like you better be ready to battle me and shoot me down. I never wore a kufi, ignore my religion. A kufi is often worn across the African diaspora, and it's often, associated with the Islamic cultures. And so I put here like Kendrick's sometimes references like the Islamic um, sayings and practices in his music, but he's also aligns himself a lot with Christianity as well. But in this next line, he'll kind of explain my like back and forth with this. He says, "I believe there's one God, there's one love, and I believe if I fly, we all doves." So he's saying here that like he's more spiritual, I feel like, than sticking to one religion. Like he believes that there's one God, and I don't need to, practice a religion in order to have a relationship with him. Um, and he often speaks about like things that would just indicate that he is more conscious and like more spiritual in that way. And so when he says, "And I believe if I fly, we all doves," he's saying like there's one conscious. So if I'm flying, that means that, we can all fly, we can all succeed. Doves represent peace as well. And so, we can all be at peace. "I make a way for my people to see the light. Brighter than yellow bones, me and my microphone could be one." So, a yellow bone is a term used in the Black community to describe lighter skinned people. And so he's saying the light is going to be so bright that it's even brighter than like a light skin. "Until I see Big, Pac, see Pun, but this ain't easy." And these are all rappers that, came before Kendrick and who kind of like were staples in the game and really pushed the type of hip 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 hop and rap that Kendrick, looked up to and studied. "I can't take a big L. My city needs me. I gotta win." So again, Big L is another rapper, and he's saying, he's just using kind of wordplay here, like I gotta win for my city. "Proof is in the pudding, and I've been effing with Cosby since I was 10. You damn right." But ooh, not Cosby. But I think this was before everything like went down with him. Again, my time is kind of off sometimes, so I think this was before that. Um, but when he says the proof is in the pudding, so the full phrase of this is the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Meaning like you don't know how good something is until you try it, until you put it to use. And for the Cosby part, Genius said that basically Cosby did commercials for Jello back in the 1980s. So I'm guessing that's what it could be. I don't know what else he could be talking about when he references Cosby there. But if you have another reference that put it in the comments. Any means necessary, get the campaign right. Very emotional, I'm a Gemini. I love hard and I fight harder, a born author. Facts. But we know that Kendrick is a Gemini, and Geminis are very emotional. My mom is a Gemini, but like Kendrick, she loves hard, but she fights even harder for what she loves. And that is what Kendrick does. A born starter in the game for real. I put for real, for real. And the game's appeal to the struggling youth with no father. You can't learn if mistakes ain't made. You gotta pay your homage in order to get paid. So here Kendrick is, you know, talking about how he wants his talents and his messages to get through to the youth, those who maybe don't have a father to look up to or speak, these messages into them. And so he's saying, like, you can't learn from anything if you don't make mistakes. Just again trying to like teach them things, and you have to respect the game, the people that came before you, the people that started this, in order to get paid in the game, in order to succeed. And you gotta pay attention in order to pay dues, and you ain't getting it till you start paying Jews. So Lucian Grange and his family and a lot of like top execs in the industry, like the higher ups, are Jewish. And so Kendrick is trying to say, like, in order for you to make it in this game, and to get paid, is if you sign with one of these industry execs, who labels, or just like work with them and do what they want you to do. Lifestyles of the young and the broke, with my hand under oath, I recite these quotes. So I think he is saying, like, I'm gonna start. Well, obviously the heart part, or the heart series, kind of tells what he's gonna talk about in the next album he drops, and in section 80 he talks about these lifestyles of the young and the broke. And so he's saying, I vow to be telling the truth. When you go under oath, you are saying that you're gonna tell the truth and nothing but the truth. Um, and so he's saying, I'm going to be telling the truth in what I put in the music. He says, and if I ever lie, then I die where I stand, as a pest, not a man, but a roach and a rat. He's saying, like, if I were to ever lie, that means that, I'm not a man. A real man is truthful in the way that they move through life. I'm a roach and a rat, which are both pests. And so he says, as a pest, not a man. In order to see the front, I had to play the back. In order to see success and kind of, get into the game, he had to first sit back and observe the way that, rappers who inspired him moved, and listen and research and do studying, and immerse himself in it, so that he's able to kind of carry that on and use it to inspire him and his work as well. Played our position, we let y'all play y'all self. Y'all made y'all decision. We pray while we prey on competition to flip another page of Corinthians. So he's saying, we did what we were going to do. We came into this game, I'm guessing he's referring to like him and Black Hippie and TDE, and, maybe rappers before him as well. Carrying on the legacy, carrying on the integrity of the game, and y'all played yourselves. And he's saying, like, we pray for you while also praying on you, to maybe get you out of the game, or just like battle with you. Because he says on competition. Well, I guess competition would be the other team. Anyways, to flip another page of Corinthians, the Corinthians is a book of the Bible. I see stars when I write these sentences. Words crash cars when I write these sentences. Open jail bars for my ends life sentences. So for the sea stars, when people are often like super stressed or worried or in pain, they have like that sensation of like seeing stars. Like maybe when you get like dizzy as well. And so he's saying, like, I've been so stressed and working so hard to write these songs. Words crash cars when I write these sentences. So like they're so um crazy and like shocking in a way that like you're gonna crash the car. Open jail bars for my ends life sentences. Free J Dove, kill all witnesses. And J Dove was a friend of Kendrick's that was imprisoned. And so he's just saying, like, I hope that these help kind of change things with their maybe literal cases or just like, you know, minds, I guess, being free. Y'all better hope 2012 really real, cause the way I feel, I'ma make y'all suffer and take y'all supper. So 2012, the movie was about like the apocalypse and like the world ending. And I was in eighth grade during this time, and I remember being so scared. Like, I did not want to see that movie. I don't think I've seen it to this day. Like, I know what it's about because everybody was talking about it back then, like on Twitter. Back when Twitter was like the best, like prime Twitter, um, like 2012. And so, yeah, I just remember being so scared. But he's saying, I really hope that's real and like we're just all gonna get taken out because if not, I'm gonna make y'all suffer. I haven't ate in the last 22 summers, and I'm 22 now. It's about to go down. So he's saying that he hasn't ate literally in any summer that he's, you know, been born. He hasn't ate literally, but he hasn't figuratively ate, meaning like maybe he wasn't getting, the success and the money and the achievements that he has now. Um, but that also means that he's really hungry. So he's hungry to win. He's going to come into this full on. So, on guard, my God, we got these artists in awe. Oh, I'm free. Finally, I can say I'm me. The Kendrick Lamar EP, classic EP, The Question Concerns. So here he's just like kind of promoting himself. Like, here I am. And before he dropped Section 80, he did drop Overly Dedicated. It's a really, really good album. Well, mixtape. Um, but he says, I dropped it and gave the whole world my germs. And I put here, like, he's saying I had really sick bars, sick meaning like they were good, crazy. Hope y'all infected. Hope y'all ain't have no protection. So he's saying, I hope that you guys were, infected with the messages that I was trying to send and what I was saying and ready to, battle. Still, I'm progressing, room for improvement. Make room for the groom, married to his music. So he's saying, I'm me, the groom, married to the game. I was at the XXL just trying to excel. So XXL is like a magazine that has like the newest, like top rappers. And it's also like a rap battle that they have. So I think this was 2011. Correct me if I'm wrong. I forgot to put the date here. But Kendrick came to the shoot with J Rock, and he says, "Networking. Meanwhile, my stomach turning." So he's just saying, I was like, kind of talking to everybody, but I'm kind of like nervous. Stomach's turning. Wanted to be part of it to cater to my audience. J Cole running late. If you don't show up, think I can take his place. So before the shoot, J Cole didn't arrive until like 8 hours later, and so Kendrick offered to like take his place in the shoot and the battle. He says, ladies start laughing, no pun intended. I ain't being sarcastic. So he's like, no, I'm being dead ass. Like, I want to do this. Homie popped up with about 20 bags, and fresh out the plane, I couldn't even complain. My end was on his hustle. I introduced him my name. So he's saying, I went up to him and I introduced myself and we talked. Said I'll see him on the bubble in the future. My dude, I salute ya. Contributing the real ish. Talk about it, make the people talk about it. So J. Cole will go on to produce a song, I think a couple songs, on Kendrick's Section 80. And so right here, he's just saying, like, I salute you for how you're sticking to the real roots and integrity of hip hop. And you're speaking like real stuff. Like Kendrick, or J. Cole, he talks a lot about just like, storytelling, just like Kendrick, just like in a different way. And he says, make the world see for every MC that I see trying to stay afloat. Tell him build a boat like Noah and take him to a place that I'm sure we all can blow up. Boom. So he's saying, like, make them see like what these new MCs that are still holding on to the integrity and respect for the game, what we have, and we can get on, this boat to save us from the industry kind of flooding with um what they want. And we can go off and kind of, still succeed and boom. That was such a long explanation, my bad. I ain't a star yet, but I'm getting close to him. And if you see a whack artist do more, then boo him. Throw him off the banister, shoot him on camera. Like, is he talking about Drake here? Or is he just foreshadowing? Then hang a banner up that reads "You can't proceed without being conceived by one album of the 90s." On Rosecrans, where you'll find me, so Rosecrans is where he grew up. And all my ends is grimy. Grimy is another word for shady. But I remain the good kid, trying to make a difference where I'm from, where you live. So he's saying, but I am a good kid, I am not shady. And so I'm making a difference with what I'm doing. Oh no, we got to slow the city down. I told the homeboy pump the brakes. He said that he rather he said that he'd rather put the pump to his face. Off torture, turn the saw off, it's scorching. So he's saying his homie's not gonna like pump the brakes. Would rather put the gun to his face. Hot where I'm from, the newcasters don't come. Another ratchet got dumped in the trash can. I ain't done. So he's kind of referring to like his neighborhood and how like even the news reporters don't want to go there because it's so dangerous. And goes on to describe like kind of like a prostitute or an ex-worker, and he will go on to tell the story of Keisha on Section 80, and we will get into that. So he's foreshadowing what he's going to talk about in the album. A baby in there with it. She said postpartum did it. Molested at 11, and she always reminiscing. When he was undressing, said it'll only be a minute. That's why I think I'm always kicking something with feeling. These bars are deep, 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 deep. But it's pretty self-explanatory. I should have been a dentist. I should have been a blizzard cold. Flash pose. A critic paparazzi got me on my toes. I want to jump on him like a tadpole. A-holes. Trying to kill my dreams, not elevate. Those are not my dreams. I'll be straight. So he's saying that like people are trying to tell him that he should, be a dentist and do all these other things and dismissing his dream. He's like, I'm good. I'm gonna, I'll be good. I know I have trust in myself. With a little bit of passion and a drive like an Aston. So, Aston is a type of vehicle, Aston Martin. Motivation from Nipsey or Glasses, J Rock, Mike Stroh, Bad Luck, You and I, Dom Kennedy, Murs, and Faye Sean, Lady G, Willie B, in Time. So again, these are all like rappers and people of the game that came before him. I'm a blow like I'm an MF and like I'm MF and sniffing lines. So blow is another word for cocaine. So he's just saying I'm gonna get big like that. Go like I never seen a red light shine. Flow to my heart, hit the flow when I'm dying. Heart of a lion, tell him get in line. And pass the baton, I won't pass it back. I ain't good at dimes. So in a relay race, when you are getting close to like the person next, you pass the baton to them. And so he's just saying that, go ahead and get in line, like, and pass the baton to me. If a bee bad, I could pass you a dime. Haters better duck like I'm passing a pond. So this is kind of like a play on words. Ducks, often are in ponds, and you can see them like, crossing little ponds. So he's like, but also duck as in get down. No, I'm the king and I'm passing you pawns. So in chess, passed pawns or a passed pawn is a pawn that has advanced beyond all of the enemy pawns. So basically, they are in front of all the enemy pawns. And Kendrick is relating that he is above and ahead of his enemies. But pawn could also be used as in a pawn in the industry. So people are just like put there and push certain things out to us that we be eating up low key. And so it's easy to control the messages that are getting out. Pad on the hill, that's a passion of mine. So tying back into this whole like pond, duck, pond, um, wordplay, a pad, like a lily pad and a pond on the hill. And then pad is another word for a house. So he would like a house on the hill. That's a passion of mine. And it's a very like expensive house, meaning that he's successful and able to kind of like get that generational wealth. Problem is, I shine like two mics under heavy strobe lights. I'ma need two mics just to get my point across. I'ma get my joint across. Country, y'all gonna want me. Pete. And then it's cuts out. And the outro is a sample. It says, "This is a song that makes me spill out all my gut." So, again, Kendrick has kind of prepared us for what we are going to get into in section 80 and kind of sets it up for us. Um, the Heart Part 1, like, it's kind of like the super nerdy Kendrick, if I have to be honest. It's kind of cool to see, like, his progression in maturity and, like, his rapping and everything throughout the years. But